Okay, so the time has come. I'm about to attempt to crank this thing up for the first time. Did y'all hear that? Fucking thing started right the fuck up. Holy shit, Lucy got scared. I see you, girl. You ran right on out there, didn't you, girl? It's okay, girl. Come here, come here. It's okay. Holy shit. I got oil coming out already. Wonder where that came from. So it is Monday, and I'm hoping that today is going to be the day that I am starting this truck here. I cannot wait. I have been putting a lot of time and effort. I don't expect it to run because I accidentally bought some 42-pound injectors, not realizing it. And because I just wouldn't think, I saw what I looked at was the CC, and the CC was really low, so I assumed, so you know, but they ended up being 42-pound injectors, so they may, it's more than likely not gonna run properly. And I was thinking, well, I have the stock injectors, I was gonna put those in, but the plugs that I have here for the injectors are a different plug than what is, you know, for the factory injectors, so that is not going to work right there. So I don't expect it to fully run properly. I mean, I do have HP tuners, so I mean, there's not really much I can change. I mean, you know, as far as, you know, the fuel tables on that, I can't guess on it, you know. So I don't expect it to run very well. It might idle. It may idle, which is really kind of will be fine with me. But because I mean, there's no fluid going through it, so I'm not going to be running it for very long at all anyway, so that doesn't matter. Oh, but hey, I want to show you one little issue that I found with those eBay headers. I'm gonna have to figure something out with this. So let me get some light here. This one right here, this pipe comes up a little too high, and as you can see, this is actually, yeah, it's touching. So that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to figure out something, maybe some that have like a different, like maybe they come in at like a 45 or something like that. This one is really close, so I might look at that as well, because that one is like right there as well. That one's touching, and that one's fine. But, and all the ones on this other side are fine. I'm pretty sure that, yeah. Well, that one's really close. That one's fine. That one's okay. But, and that one's fine. So that one is going to be an issue. So there's going to be some melting going on here, especially when I get to running. So before I even drive it and, you know, getting it hot and stuff, I'm probably going to try to figure out some way to, yeah, to get some different plug wires. I think I might have to do that, you know. But today I need to go ahead, before I can crank it, I want to go ahead and run some vacuum lines, and I probably want to go ahead and put in another ground or two, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But I know for sure that I want to go ahead and get the vacuum lines ran, and yeah, I mean, it's got oil. I need to get some fuel for it because I drained the tank at one point, so I need, because I thought I was going to be dropping the tank. So but yeah, dang, I just gotta get some fuel, and it doesn't have a mass airflow sensor, so, and you know, it doesn't have an alternator. Doesn't really have, like I told you, I went ahead and put this back on, put the factory one on, try to give it its best chance to crank, and that's going to be the best bet it's got, like putting the stock one on there, because it's already, that one should be dialed in to the engine already. And you know, I mean, the injectors are still an issue, but all right, well, let me knock out a couple of things. I mean, you don't need to see me hooking up some vacuum lines. You know how to do that. I'll show you how I routed everything and what I connected though at the end though. So let me get to it. All right, so before I start it, I've basically did a mild partial rebuild on it. So a lot of the oil has drained away. Now I'm not too worried about much of a dry start because I didn't remove the cam or anything like that, so it should still have whatever it had. But I mean, I did fill the oil filter with oil. It's topped all the way off. It might be just a touch too much because I don't have a dipstick, so I just took the dipstick off of the 2.8 and just kind of stuck it in there just so it keep from the oil just splattering out. I went ahead, as you can see, I've cleaned up everything. Look, like, I mean, it's up there, you can see I have access to everything. All that, look at all that. I mean, it's all nice and clean-ish. I got that taken out too because I was like, well, I can't use any of this, so I took it out and the connection and all of its wires. So, but check this out though. So I got everything. This is all hooked up, computer's hooked up and everything. So I just want to go ahead and basically prime the oil system real quick. And so I've done it a few times already. So this is, I didn't just now do it. So but yeah, basically gonna get some fuel now, and once I get some fuel, then I can attempt oh yeah, so let me rewind. So in order for me to do this, since I have everything hooked up, I went ahead and disconnected the fuel pump back here, so it's not activating, so it's not sending fuel up here. But then I also went ahead and disconnected the coils on both sides. That way it's not sending any juice, or well, it's sending it, but it's not sending any to the actual coils, and they're not firing without needing. So yeah, I just need some fuel, guys. I'm like a little school kid on the first day of school. Got his new threads, but wants to show it off. I want to drive this truck so bad. All right, well, let me get some fuel, and yeah, so I can attempt to do something here. Okay, so I got a full, well, no, that's a lie. I have a quarter of a tank of fuel-ish, something like that. I don't know what I have. But, so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to, because I drained the entire fuel system, so I need to prime it, and since it only runs for 2 seconds, so basically what I'm doing is I'm turning it on for 2 seconds quite a few times, and then I'm going up there to that Schrader valve that's on that pipe, and I'm hitting it, and I'm releasing all the air that is built up because of the incoming fuel, and so that air is starting to compress that was in there, and so I'm releasing that, and I'm actually starting to get some fuel now. So let's do this a couple times. Okay, so you can hear, I can hear the, because the relay's right there, I can hear when it cuts off and off. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it one more time and off. Okay, so let's go up here and I'll show you what I mean, what I'm doing here. I just want to get all the air out of the system, so I'm trying to give it its best opportunity. So so I'm gonna clean that up though before I do anything, don't worry. But I just wanted to kind of, as you can see, that was good fuel coming out. That was actually, I wasn't expecting it to be already ready. So I'm gonna prime it one more time. Yeah, there we go. 2 more times. All right, so I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm just gonna let it sit pressurized and see what happens. So I know I got that one leak, so I need to clean it up. Now I don't expect it to leak with what I have, because that pump was already running barbed fittings, so I don't expect it to leak right now. Mostly what I expect is it not to run properly because it's not the right amount of voltage. So yeah, I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna walk away and let this dry. I'm gonna let it do its thing, and yeah, then I'm gonna come. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my grass, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna crank this thing up, because sometimes you just kind of gotta, take your time starting these things. You don't want to just rush into it. So I want to. Cool, I just dropped something, but I want my brain to ponder on it for a second, make sure I'm getting everything right. So let me cut the grass and I'll come back. Okay, so the time has come. I'm about to attempt to crank this thing up for the first time. Did y'all hear that? Fucking thing started right the fuck up. Holy shit. Lucy got scared. I see you, girl. You ran right on out there, didn't you, girl? It's okay, girl. Come here, come here. It's okay. Holy shit. I got oil coming out already. Wonder where that came from. Oh, it's transmission fluid. Ah, yes. That's right. I gotta take care of that transmission fluid. But man, it started up. Yeah. First turn of the key. Holy crap. Oh man. Sorry, I just Lucy kind of booked it out of there, and it kind of messed with me there for a second. But fucking right. First turn of the key. That's the way a motor should start. Yeah. Yeah. I feel validated. Guys, it's gonna be a good truck. Oh man, it's gonna be a good truck. That's what I'm talking about.